Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will go through all the most exciting and interesting items and rewards you will be able to get in patch 11.0.7, and remember, this new patch will be officially launched on December 17th, so very soon. Okay, first we have this new mount right here, and this is Jani's Trashpile. So this mount is very interesting for a few reasons. First of all, this is the new meta achievement mount for the Battle for Azeroth expansion, as you can see right here. And what's interesting about this mount is that instead of being able to go on the mount, you will transform yourself into Jani's Trashpile. So this is really cool because we don't have that many mounts that you can transform yourself into, and especially there's not really a lot of ground mounts. So you will be able to become Jani's. And also one thing that is interesting is that so far, normally when you're using the mount, you will be able to also have your weapon displayed. So this is maybe something that will change when patch 11.0.7 will officially be launched. But so far, at least you can see your weapon on Jani when you are mounting this mount. After that, we are getting a lot of new transmog items in this patch, and you will be able to buy a lot of them with the Flameless Iron, which is the new currency that is linked to the Siren Owl. And one item in particular that I think is very interesting is this two-handed sword right here. And as you can see, this is this really cool Vrykul looking sword that has some fur on it. So this is a sword that was normally supposed to be released in the game back in Wrath of the Lich King, I'm pretty sure, but it was never made into something that you could actually get in game, and finally you will be able to get it, and personally I think this weapon looks super cool. Then of course after that we have the Cyrce Circlet, which is the new powerful ring you will be able to get during this patch, and this is another one of these customizable rings. So as you can see, you will be able to get different type of these different Tinker gems or citrine, and then you will be able to make your ring as powerful as possible. So you have tons of these different citrines that you will be able to use, and you will also be able to simply upgrade the eye level of your ring to have a ring with an eye level of 629. So overall, this is pretty interesting. It will be very cool during this patch, but probably as soon as patch 11.1 will be released, this ring won't be as interesting anymore. But still, this is something you can play with a little bit during this patch, and hopefully you will be able to make it as powerful as possible with all these different abilities that you will be able to get. And also, one thing that is cool with this ring is that when you have it on you, you will be able to see it on your character, as you can see. And you also have a toy version of this ring. And with this toy, you will be able to always have this appearance on your character, even when you're not using the ring. So I think overall, this is something that is pretty cool. After that, we have this new mount, Thrayir, Eyes of the Siren. And so this is the famous Stormcrow mount that was first data-mined back in Mist of Pandaria, and it was never made available to players. And players have been asking for this mount for years and years, myself included. And finally, you will be able to get it. It will be through a few different things you will need to collect in order to then summon the mount and complete a quest to receive the mount. It's not going to be super difficult for you to get it. And overall, I have to say, this is a very nice mount. Even though it's a little bit low res, this is a beautiful mount and I love it. You will also be able to get these cosmetic sets right here that are very interesting. You will have different tints, as you can see. And all of them will come with different weapons and, for instance, back pieces and all these other transmogs. And all of them, in my opinion, are super nice. And so, as you can see, for instance, the best one, according to me, is this two-handed mace. I think this looks super cool. This is a metal detector. And overall, this is something that looks super badass. After that, we also have the Landro's loot box. This is one of these new Landro's items that has been data-mined in patch 11.0.7. And normally the initial item that you were able to get through the trading card game would reward you sometimes with a TCG mount. It's very rare. And part of these different mounts were the Spectral Tiger and Swift Spectral Tiger mounts. So these different boxes are very interesting. And right now there is this new version that has been data-mined Again, it's not guaranteed that it will make it into the game, but it's very interesting that it has been data mined with this new patch. And also there is a spell that is linked to this and that just says that you are opening the Landro's loot box. So I really don't know if it will actually be made available to players, but if that's the case, I would really love to see what are the different mounts that will be part of the loot table of this box, and if maybe the Spectral Tiger mount will be part of it. After that, we have all these different Snapdragon treats. So basically, during patch 11.0.7, you will be able to get a new Snapdragon mount. And with these different treats right here, you will be able to change the color of your mount. So this is something that is pretty cool. We already had something similar back in Battle for Azeroth in Mechagon, but here this is a little bit different because this is with a normal fleshed mount, let's say, and you have a little bit more options. So again, you will be able to get some of these different treats by doing plenty of different activities on the Siren Isles, and also you will need to first unlock the mount through a quest line. And when you have the mount and you are unlocking these, you will be able to then buy them from a vendor and use them in order to change again the color of your mount. And as you can see, these are a few examples of these different colors. And again, the vendor will be located right here. Normally, when you will have unlocked the mount and some of the treats, you will be able to buy them from him directly. Then you have the Distilled Knowledge of Timeways. So this is an item you will be able to get when completing Time Walking Dungeons during the Turbulent Timeways event that will also be available normally during patch 11.0.7. And upon reaching 4 applications, you will be able to get the Mastery of Timeways buff. And as you can see, it will increase the experience gain from killing monsters and completing quests by normally 30%. So this is something that is very, very useful if you are trying to level up some alts. And again, this is something you will be able to do and get only during this Turbulent Timeways event. After that, we have another interesting mount that I really want to bring to your attention, and this is the Lunar Launcher. So this is a reskin of the normal rocket mounts that we already have in the game since the Burning Crusade, but this one is very, very interesting and I think it looks super cool. And as you can see, it's this really cool mount right here. And you will be able to get it during the Lunar Festival. It will be through the vendor, so probably you will be able to buy it with the currency that is linked to this event. So personally, I'm very excited about this mount and I think it looks really nice. After that, I want to talk about another weapon that I think looks super cool, and this is this Reforged Harmonic Mallet. So this is one of the different weapons you will be able to buy from the Time Walking vendor for Mist of Pandaria, and so it will only be available when Time Walking will be available for Mist of Pandaria. And this is one of the different appearances that were not initially made available to players, but finally Blizzard decided to introduce it into the game, and I do think it looks super, super cool. And so you have this 2-ended version right here, and then you normally also have a 1-ended version. And so again, I think both of these look really nice. After that, we also have some new bee mounts. So we have this one right here, the Timely Buzz Bee, that you will be able to get when doing the achievement Master of the Turbulent Timeways 2. And we also have another one of these bee mounts. Right now, we don't really know what it will look like exactly, but it will be the reward of this achievement, I'm on Island Time, and you will receive the Onibak Hive Mover, which will probably be a black version of the bee mount. And what's cool about this is that finally these bee mounts will be available for everyone, not just Alliance players, because the previous one was only available for Alliance players, and so now everyone will be able to get their bee mounts, including Horde players, which is again really nice. And all you have to do in order to get this one is to do this achievement again, the Master of the Turbulent Timeways 2. You need to gain Mastery of Timeways for 5 weeks during the Turbulent Timeways event. And so basically 5 weeks in a row, you just want to do some Time Walking dungeons, get the buff, and on the 5th week, you will be able to get them out. So this is very easy to get. I also want to show you quickly these new Broom Mounts that we will be able to get, and most of them will be linked to the Love is in the Air event. And in my opinion, these mounts look absolutely fantastic. I think the previous Broom mount that we got through the training post was already cool, but these ones, in my opinion, again, are even better. and we'll have 4 different colors for these different mounts. And so I think overall these look super cool. And these mounts will be mainly available through the trading post. You will, for instance, have the red and white version that will be available through the trading post. This one will be through the in-game shop, and so probably at some point it will also be added to the trading post. Same with this one. And finally, the last one is normally something that you will be able to get through the mini boss that is available during the Love is in the Air event, and that is also dropping the Big Love Rocket. After that, another very interesting item that I want to bring to your attention is this new staff and also pole arm, and this is a Mop Transmog. So as you can see, you will literally just have a mop, and this is something you will be able to get again as a staff and also as a pole arm. So this is something that is honestly pretty cool, and again, you will be able to buy these different mops with the new currency from the Siren Isle, and it will be fairly cheap. So overall, I think that's pretty cool, and again, if you're into role-playing and all these type of things, then these are going to be perfect for you. After that, we have another one of these items that is a little bit odd, because this is an artifact weapon from Legion, and in particular, this is one of the rare skins that you can unlock through the Mage Tower, and normally these have been removed from the game, and for some reason, they have been added again in patch 11.0.7, so again, it's not guaranteed that it will actually be added again into the game. It's maybe just there by mistake. All I know is that right here, as you can see, it says added in patch 11.0.7. So maybe it means that Blizzard is planning on finding ways to bring back some of these different remove from the game Mage Tower appearances from Legion, or maybe it's again just a mistake. All I know is that it was in the game's file, and I find that very interesting. Then after that, I want to talk about a few more interesting cosmetic items that you will be able to buy through this vendor right here. And again, you will be able to buy them with the Flame Blessed Iron. And these different items are, in my opinion, very interesting because they are pretty unique and they have very cool skins overall. It almost looks like they are not fully done, and Blizzard decided to release them as it is. And what's even more interesting is that it definitely looks like a plate item, but it will be something you will be able to use on any of your characters because it is a cosmetic item. So you have different variations of these different items. As you can see, you have this one, you also have the dark one. But in my opinion, the best one is by far the gold version because it's the most vibrant one. And next to that, you will normally also have a few other items. And as you can see, it's these different ones right here, which are these little hoods that are themed again after the Arathi renown. So I think overall, these items are pretty cool. You will be able to obtain them very easily. And yeah, I just really like the design of these different items. Another really interesting transmog item that I think is worth mentioning in this video are these Korkron Pauldrons. And so these are some cosmetic items that normally you will be able to use on any of your characters, and they are themed after the Korkrons and Mist of Pandaria. And these ones probably will come from, again, the Time Walking event for Mist of Pandaria from the vendor. From the different Time Walking events, we will also get a new really interesting mount, and this is the Ur'zul Fleshripper. So this one will be available from the Legion Time Walking. It will cost 5,000 of the different Tamra badges. And this is the only recolored version that we have from the mount from Mythic and Taurus. And so in my opinion, this looks really cool. I know a lot of players have been asking for this mount for a long time. And especially I think it's nice because it will offer an alternate way for players to get this model if they are unlucky and they still haven't managed to get the one from Mythic and Taurus, like myself. And finally, the last item I want to mention is this helm right here. So this is a Shadopan cosmetic item that, in my opinion, looks super nice. And this one will also be available through the Time Walking event for Mist of Pandaria. And the only catch with this item is that you will only be able to use it if you are playing on a Pandaren character. But again, I think it makes sense because this is Shadopan themed. And overall, I think this is a really nice addition to all these different cosmetics we got from Mr. Pandaria Remix. And I'm sure many people who are playing Pandarans will be happy to finally be able to use this. Then we will also have these experimental Go Packs rockets. So this item is going to be very useful because basically on the Siren Isle, you will have two different phases. You will have the normal phase where you will be able to unlock flying and to fly with all your different flying mounts. And then you will have the storm phase, and inside of the storm phase, you won't be able to use your flying mounts, but you will be able to use these experimental Go Packs in order to, as you can see, propel yourself upwards in the air, and then by jumping around, you will be able to jump super high. And so I think this is going to be very interesting and something that will replace a little bit flying when you will be again using this storm phase version of the Siren Isle, and overall something that is pretty nice. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about all these different items and about patch 11.0.7. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime I wish you all a great day. Bye!